Hey guys, Luke here. Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Peztio reached out to me to review their newest dash cam. This is actually something I've been wanting to do for a while, so let's give it a shot. A couple nice points about this dash cam. Of course, other than it being 1080p and having all the standard features of other dash cams, it has Wi-Fi built into it, which is really handy as far as, trying to see what happened on that little screen in the car. You can actually connect right to it, right on your phone, and you can actually get a live image or live video streaming, and you can download it and delete it, review it, whatever you'd like to do right on your smartphone. And it works for Android and iOS. So let's unbox this thing and get right into it. Alright, I'm just going to go over a few specifications here. It does have 1080p recording, 170 degree wide angle, the loop recording, which basically will, if you only wanted to record a minute or 3 minutes and 5 minutes before it basically loops over itself. The G sensor detects a hard crash or a hard stop and will automatically lock the footage or make sure it's recording if it's not. And then it does have audio recording, so that's what it's referring to there. As far as a few more specs, the 1.5 inch LCD. Let me see anything else. So the file format is MOV and H.264, which is nice, pretty standard. 12 million pixels in the photo mode, JPEG photo, and you can store up to a 32 gigabyte card. It only has 32 megabytes internal. Most people, you're going to have a memory card. The nice thing about this camera is it does support Wi-Fi. I'm going to show you that here in just a minute. And the WDR is wide dynamic range. It just makes the brights look brighter and the darks look darker in a given scene when it's hard to see one or the other, if that makes sense. So if something is backlit, you can see a lot of, it tries to wash the camera out. Well, that helps with that. All right, and then 50 or 60 hertz, which, for a dash cam, 50 hertz is fine. 60 hertz is just going to take up a little bit more memory on the memory card, but maybe just give you a slightly smoother image. Alright, we're going to go ahead and open the box here. Pretty straightforward, nothing to cut. Just push it out. Pop it open. Okay. We have the camera. Already has the 3M mount ready to go. DC adapter. Looks like it's a mini USB. The warranty card. Looks like you have a spare 3M mount, a quick start guide, and the user manual. Okay guys, so just going to show you a little overview of this. On the side here you have the SD card slot, the microphone, and this is actually the menu button, not the power button. That's on the other side. So here's the power button and also the Wi-Fi on and off switch, and then the USB power slot. Looking around the front, of course you have the camera. Again, you can move it a little bit, you can tilt it, just to get the angle right a little bit. It looks like it's basically 360. You can tilt it any which way you'd like. And around the back is your SOS button. Basically what that's going to do is lock the recording, the last recording or the current recording that's happening. So basically if you had something happen without thinking about it, you just hit the button and that way it locks that file so nobody can delete it. So just about like any other dash cam, as soon as you plug it in, it starts up. So for the demo, I'm just going to use a corded mini USB. Now that boots up and right away it starts recording. Let me zoom in here a little bit so I can get a picture of the screen. So I'm going to try to do this without getting my fingers in the way too much. But again, you have the mode button up and down and the OK button, and your menu button is over here. So the menu button will take you back a step, and the up and down buttons and the OK buttons will select the rest. So of course, if you go in the resolution, you can choose between 1080p or 720p. Hit the menu to go back. Loop recording is basically how many minutes do you want it to loop the recording. 1 minute, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes. That's basically how long it records before it just basically records over itself. If you wanted it to do that, of course. Because outside of that, it'll just keep recording until it's full, and then it'll erase the oldest data. The WDR is wide dynamic range, so there's off and on. I'm not sure why you wouldn't want it on. Exposure compensation, it's going to automatically do that for you, but it gives you the option to compensate for that, basically making it brighter or darker if you'd like it a little bit brighter or darker. The motion detection is, if you want it to go off, like let's say you have the car parked and you want it to go off when there's motion and record some video, you can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. Do you want it to record audio? Most people do, so that's already on by default. The date stamp, that's a good thing to have. It's on by default. The G sensor is, it automatically records or locks video whenever a hard G is detected, basically crashing into somebody or a hard brake. So of course you can adjust that sensitivity right here. So I'm just going to keep it on medium. Now that's the extent of that first menu. Now you have settings as well. So we're going to hit the button over here one more time to change it to the little gear or the wrench icon here. So you have the parking monitor, which is very similar to the other thing I just explained. Basically, when you park the car, if you want that on, that means that it's going to use the battery at this point. So of course, you would have to have this either hardwired or plugged into a source that's going to be on all the time for that to work. Here's the date and time, which again, earlier in the video it was wrong, so I'll just show you how easy it is to work it. Just use your up and down arrows and hit OK. We are good. Okay. So the auto power off, pretty straightforward. It's just going to turn off after 3 minutes of no activity. You can change that from 1, 3, and 5. Screensavers, that's basically the timeout from when this screen will go off. So when you first turn the car on, this screen will show whatever it's recording. So that's usually not a big deal. Some people just turn it off, so it's only going to last a few seconds. You can leave it on for a minute, just if you want to take a look and make sure you actually are recording something. The beep sound, well, you've heard it this whole time. It's kind of annoying sometimes, so let's go ahead and turn that off. Well, language, pretty self-explanatory. Don't go in there. Hertz is the frames per second. So 50 hertz or 60 hertz, it's going to take up more information quicker on your SD card. So you know what, for dash cam purposes, 50 hertz is just fine. And then if you wanted to change the Wi-Fi SSID, you can do that and name it whatever you'd like, and we're going to get into the Wi-Fi here in just a minute. And the Wi-Fi password, you can also change that. License plate stamp, if you want to record your own license plate information in there, just for redundancy. And if you have a couple different license plates, you can go between those two if you'd like to. And if you want to format the memory card, that's if you just want to erase everything on the memory card itself. And if you want to reset everything back to default, that's how you would do it in there. And then of course your version, which right now of course they're on 1.0. So that's the basics of the menu system and how to work it. 9 times out of 10 or 90% of the time you're going to plug this thing in. Look, it's already recording again. It's going to plug in and automatically start recording, so you don't have to push a record button or anything like that. I'm going to unplug it and show you what it says. See, so after 5 seconds it's going to shut down, which means it's the same thing if you were to turn the car off. So car comes back on, gets power, turns on, automatically starts recording, and you can see it there. So this is where you would be glancing at it, making sure the little red light is on, timer's ticking down, and you're good to go. Okay, so what I'm going to show you now is the Wi-Fi feature, which is pretty neat. So if you are sitting in your car and you wanted to review a video instead of looking at the tiny screen, you can pull it up on your smartphone, or if you actually wanted to transfer files instead of having to take out the SD card and bring it inside and put it in a reader, download it to your computer, and then watch it on a bigger screen, you can do it right from your smartphone and even download the files from your from the SD card to your smartphone. So I'll show you how to do that now. So of course this button over here on the right side is the Wi-Fi button. So we're just going to push that once and you'll see the symbol come up. And then what it shows on the screen is just basically the SSID and the password. And then you're going to download an app on the phone, and I'll show you which one it is. Is this one right here. So it's Go Plus Cam, and that's what the icon looks like. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. And there's just going to be one button here, which is basically the connect button. Now what you have to do is, if it prompts you, it's going to come up with your Wi-Fi networks, and you have to basically connect to the Wi-Fi network of the camera. Here you go. So here's the network, GP Plus, G Plus Pro. Okay, and then see, I've already connected to this, so I've already put in the password 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and then you just hit the back button. It goes back to the app, and then you try the connect button one more time. There we go. And now you have a live feed too of the camera, so it's kind of neat as well. When you tap on the screen, you'll see a couple things here. One of the main ones you're going to be using is the Files button, but you can record from here as well. So when you go into the Files screen, I'm trying to do this through the camera if that actually worked. Yep. So here are all the files that you've recorded, and they come up with the thumbnails and everything. And you can tap on one and play or download it. Pretty straightforward. Pretty neat. Now the Wi-Fi Direct is not the fastest option to download the files, but it does work. And then basically they go directly into your gallery. So pretty straightforward, but it is a very neat feature to have built in directly to a dash cam. So let's go put it in the car and see how she does. Okay guys, so I don't think it's going to get much easier than this. I just peeled off the 3M sticker, and most people would probably put it underneath their rearview mirror, but I'm actually going to put it up a little higher because this car is really low. So I'm going to do mine actually right about here. Alright, there we go. And you can see that it is. And there's my view, and now I can adjust that, of course, by the little angle of the camera up front, which I'm going to do now. Trying to angle it down and over a little bit since I did position it slightly different, so that's nice. That even if you do it off center a little bit, you can just move the camera over, which is handy. Alright, and we'll see some of the video here in just a minute. One more quick thing I did want to mention is that it is on a detachable mount, so all you got to do is just lift it up and it comes off. So you can leave it on there and put it right back on really easily. Alright guys, well there you have it. A quick walkthrough and review of Peztio's new dash cam with the Wi-Fi built into it. I think for the cost and value, it's really hard to beat. You know, looking at the WDR footage, there's not a huge difference, but no reason not to just leave it on. You know, I was actually surprised at the night footage that we took. You know, everything came through clear, even with my windshield having some moisture on it. Still able to read plates just fine. So the resolution is still good. It doesn't add a whole lot of grain at night when you know, the camera really needs to bump up the ISO feature. What I'll do is I'll leave a link in the description to purchase this right off Amazon, help out the channel. And also I'll leave a link to a DC hardwire kit. So basically, if you don't want the cigarette lighter cord dangling down, you can hardwire this. So I'll leave a link to that, a link to an SD card as well. Of course, if you have any questions about this new camera, just please leave them in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day, guys.